Everyone, it's Killshot 99 Gaming. This is Played It Live. This is Week 1 Paper versus Paper or Plastic. Kilz Game Season 2. So we did this last year, an amazing competition where each week our players are battling in competitions, trying not to get strikes. The more strikes you get, the worse it is. At the end of the season, whoever has the least amount of strikes is going to be deemed our winner, and we're playing for real. This is for starting out 6,000 Kilz tokens is what we're starting, and each week we'll add more to the pot. Now, we know that there were some slip-ups earlier today. Some people actually got out of the gates with strikes before we even started the event. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. We got Valar in the house. Hello, 99 Army Kills. Great mods, channel members, sponsors. Tonight, it all goes down. So I'm looking forward to it. If you did not get an RSVP tonight, you can join in some events, but you do want to make sure that you reserve in advance because the events are set up well ahead of time. So if you guys are ready to get going, some pre-match buffs could be relevant. So go ahead and give me your pre-match buffs. I got a super chat shout out for Valar. Hello, 99 Army. I mean, right there, right? So we're going to give her that little 999 badge. So thank you so much for that, Valar. Everybody else, let's get down to business, and here it is. Starting out right here, right now.
Beneath your eyes, blue passionately trying to seduce me, torturing me, make me act as a puppet, like you always do. Like you always do. It's so disgusting how much I desire you. You always got a kiss for me right down your pocket. Open my heart with your spell, nice and pleasant. Hell, like you always do. Like you always do to me. Beneath your skin, green intentionally trying to abuse me, torturing me, make me act as a puppet, like you always do. Like you always do. So disgusting how much I desire you. You always got a kiss for me right down your pocket. Open my heart with your spell, nice and pleasant. Hell, like you always do to me. Like you always do to me. Yeah.
right, and once again, everybody, welcome to Kilz Game Season 2, Paper or Plastic. You know what? I thought the best way to welcome all of y'all would be with some nice balloons, right? I mean, you got to feel festive. You're getting down to the bare essentials here with the competition. So we got a nice slate of balloons. You'll notice that there are 13 balloons that are up there. So we're going to start out, and very easy, I'm going to let all of y'all pick a balloon, but it's got to be really quickly. You're going to only have 5 seconds. You can't compare notes. So it's whatever you pick. Don't see what somebody else is picking or wait for it. So on the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to post which balloon you want, okay? Now, there was some data around this, so you should have a couple clues. 1, 2, 3. Post your number. Come on, Tammy. I should give you a strike just for putting bottom right. All right. Let's get this going here. All right, I see. We've got Gemstone picking balloon number 2. We got Justice picking number 5. Now, these are very important picks. Craven picking number 13. Father Ron, number 12. Cat, number 9. Dr. Dye, number 3. Villar, defending champion Villar, picking number 4. Bones picking number 4. Shaman picking number 3. Deadly Dimes, number 11. Julia picking number 5. And Busy Bee picking number 9. And Kel picking number 3. All right. Everybody see the screen. Does everybody look correct? Now, there's one caveat to these balloons. These balloons potentially have some very dangerous objects inside. And in the nature of Squid Game, there's only one way that you can pop the balloon, and that is with your teeth. So that means that you're going to close your eyes and you're going to bite down on this balloon. And if it has a butcher knife inside, it is going to cut off your tongue and half of your mouth. Now, Not all have butcher knives inside. Some have plastic forks inside. But hopefully, you picked a safe space. Now, with that knowledge, I'm going to give you the opportunity to throw a grenade at your specific balloon. A specialty grenade, so that does narrow it down a little bit. If your grenade hits, you get to open the balloon at a distance. It will pop, it will explode. If there's something dangerous in there, it won't affect you. And I'm going to go balloon by balloon. All right? So, Jim, we're going to start with you. We're going to let you throw a specialty grenade at that balloon, and if you pick the right one, and again, there's only about 20 specialty grenades, so you got a shot at it. So, Jim, go ahead and throw that grenade, and hopefully it hits, and you don't have to worry about, she says Milo. All right, and I will tell you, none of these are duplicated. So if you get it wrong, it might help somebody else. Jim, it is not Milo. So you cannot bust that grenade any other way except for biting it. We'll get back to you in a minute. All right. Dr. Dye, Shaman, and Kel. On the count of 3, you will have to give me your specialty grenade. And again, you can't wait to see what other people type, okay? So Dye, Sheila, and Kel. 1, 2, 3. Post your specialty grenade. All right, Milo, Monster, Unicorn. None of those are correct. So you will be simultaneously biting that balloon as well. All right, Valar and Bones. And remember, none will be duplicated once we uncover something. Valar and Bones on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Rapture and Lithium. That is incorrect. All right. So you will be biting that balloon as well. Justice and Julia. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. They both say Rapture. That is incorrect. All right, let's go over to Cat and Busy. Cat and Busy. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, Busy might be a little bit late. So she did not uncover that. Deadly Dimes. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. St. Elmo is not correct. Oracle is not correct. Father Ron. Unforgiven is not correct. And last but not least, Craven Light. Top Hat is not correct. All right. No one uncovered any of this. So we're going to get down to business. Now, I also want to tell you, if you uncover a butcher knife, not only will half your face be cut off, but you will, of course, get a dreaded strike. You will start out the event with a resin restore and a strike. Now, I'm going to give you one more chance. If you want to change your number, the first 3 people that type a new number in chat, I will let you change if you want to on the count of 5. Only 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. We got 3. Looks like Sheila wants to go to number 1. Kel wants to go to number 6. Ron wants to change up and go to number 7. Only 3, Tammy. You're not doing well with math tonight, are you? All right. Now, I'm going to give two of you a chance to move someone else. All you have to do is type the person and the number, and you will move them if you want to. But that could be, I mean, are you going to move them before they move you? Are you not going to move them? Are you trying not to make any enemies right now? What if they picked a good number and you move them off their spot? So I'm only going to let 2 people do this, and you don't have to. Oh, look at that. Look at that. All right. Ron and, all right, well, it's going to be Craven and Busy. Going to number 12. All right. Sheila, we're going to start with you because you're at number 1, okay? So on the count of 3, you're going to type the word bite. Now, wait till I count to 3. Now, I got to tell you, this could be brutal because you might bite into a plastic fork, which will be okay, or you might close your eyes. I mean, can you envision that? Closing your eyes and not seeing and chomping down as hard as you can on a butcher knife. I mean, I'm sure it would sever right through your gums, through your jawline. All right. So it is a strike and it is a resin restore. Okay? On the count of 3, Sheila. 1, 2, 3. All right, she didn't quite do it right. She said fight. It is actually bite. B-I-T-E. You got to bite that balloon, Sheila. Let's try it again. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Oh, plastic knife for the shaman. Well done, shaman. Whew, she lived. She lived. And no strike. All right. Gemstone, are you ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you picked well. Oh no! Oh no! Gemstone with the butcher knife. Ouch! Resin Restore Gem and your first strike of the season. All right, Dr. Die. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Oh my goodness! Dr. Die with a double Resin Restore. There were 2 butcher knives in that one. Oh my goodness. Who sabotaged balloon number 3? And that is 2 strikes for the doctor right out of the gates. All right. Bones and Villar. Old tag team partners back in the day. All right. Bones and Villar. On the count of 3. 1. One's biting one side, one's biting the other side. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Resin Restore. Resin Restore, and we've got number 6 for Villar. And number 1 for Bones. All right. Justice and Julia. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Resin Restore. Number 2 for Julia. Number 6 for Justice. All right, Kel. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, double butcher knives. Kel, double Resin Restore, and 2 strikes for you. Father Ron. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Plastic knife for Father Ron. Well done, Father Ron. All right, let's go to Cat. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Plastic knife for Cat. Well done. Dimes, I'm not liking the way that looks all of a sudden. Deadly Dimes. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Butcher knife for Dimes. Resin Restore and a strike. All right. Craven and Busy. The last shot. You've seen the scores go up. We got a lot of strikes here on the first event. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. You got moved to this location. Did somebody know something? Plastic knife. How about that? You each got moved to a location with nothing. Now, had you stayed where you were, balloon number 13. Ouch. All right. Those were sabotage by each of you. So you chose those numbers. You chose which one to sabotage. Interestingly enough, the 2 players that were not moved to a balloon that the person would have known was sabotaged. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Did that get everybody's juices going? I mean, we got strikes. We got Resin Restore. Some of y'all dodged a very nice bullet. And some of y'all got your face cut off. All right, now that you Resin Restore, who wants to go out and get a little fresh air? Let's get out of this stuffy room. Do me a favor. Let's head out and get a little bit of air. Wait. Maybe there's not air in the other room.
Will my heart ever find its way back home? Will the tears that I saved for years take hold? These streets that once were
If you answered the phone, res and restore. Craven, Ron, Dimes, Gemstone, Kel, Shaman, and Busy. You answered the exploding phone. Little too eager. But it didn't cost you a strike. It only cost you a life. All right, we have 13 players. Our next event will require you to pick a teammate. If you do not get a teammate, you will be playing with a NPC. All right, you got 2 minutes to decide who your partner is going to be for this next event. Shaman and Boozy. Is Joe playing tonight? All right, we got Shaman and Busy. All right. We have got Hellfire and Brimstone, Craven and Ron, the Killer Bees, Cat, and a computer-generated avatar. I'll explain that in a second. Bones and Dimes, Kel and Valar, and Doc and Justice. Now, pay close attention because you are on the same team, okay? When the music plays, you will type trip a specific person. And you will keep typing it each round you cannot pick the same person to trip. The person who gets picked the most will fall down and will not move each round. So while the music's playing, you will pick trip this person. You put it all on one line. If you want to trip the 999 person, you put trip 999. You want to trip dimes, trip Kel, trip Bones, trip Busy, trip whoever. Okay? Each person will type that. The three teams that type stop, when the music stops, if you type it early, you don't move. And that's for both players. But once the music stops, the three teams that collectively, nope, everybody picks somebody individually. Because you're not going to confer who you pick. Music's going to start. You're going to pick that person over and over and over again. The only deal is you can't spam them every round. You could pick them again after you skip them for a round, but you can't pick them every single round. When the music stops, you will type the word stop. When both of your teammates have typed that, the three teams that collectively finish first will move forward. At the end of the round, something kind of unique happens. You'll find out. All right, is everybody ready? If you're ready, give me a 999. Now, again, while the music's playing, you want to type trip that person as many times as possible because that's going to slow them down. All right, good luck, everybody. Now, I'm not sure why Villar's trying to get a tattoo in the middle of Kilz game. All right. Players who stopped. Craven and Ron, Jim, and okay, we've got Hellfire and Brimstone. Moving forward. Craven and Ron moving forward. And Cat and NPC moving forward. All right, the player that was tripped was Deadly Dimes. Now, Bones, in this next round, you're not going to trip anybody. You're going to type drag dimes, okay? Now, Dimes can try to trip someone. But you have to drag her because she's down, okay? Now, y'all thought that might be a little unfair, but here's the thing. We're going to spin this wheel. And whoever gets it gets to pick any player to be shot in the knee by the little squid guards. So you're hoping that your name comes up because you get to pick any player. All right, let's spin this wheel. It is Justice. All right, Justice. Which player on the board do you want to have shot in the knee? It will slow them down. Craven. All right, Craven, Res Restore. Now, Ron, you're going to have to drag Craven. So Ron cannot trip. Craven can. All right, round 2, everybody. The goal is to get to the finish line. And remember, you trip, or you drag your teammate. And then when the music stops, you type stop.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 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 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
All right. Let's see how we did here. First things first. Looks like Gemstone got tripped. We got Craven and Ron. We got Dimes and Bones. And we got Julia and Jim. All right. Julia, Jim, Craven and Ron out front. Cat 999, Bones and Dimes in second. Everybody else is tied for last. All right, let's spin that wheel. Cat, who you want to shoot in the leg? Ron, all right. Ron, res and restore. Now, Ron and Craven, you cannot move this round, but you can trip other people. So when it goes to stop, you don't need to type stop. Both players are down. Now, at the end of this round, both players will get up. Julia, you're still dragging Jim, and Bones, you're dragging Dimes. So Julia will drag, Bones will drag, everybody else will trip. Good luck.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 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 무궁화 꽃이
All right. Let's see who we tripped up. Pretty sure we tripped Julia. All right, let's see how the teams did. I got Dimes and Bones. I got Jim and Julia before they got tripped. Out in first, but they won't be moving this round. They'll have to take a round off. They can trip, though. And I got Busy and Sheila, the killer bees, moving up one. All right. So we've got Jim and Julia, who are in first place, but can't move. All they can do is trip. We got Ron and Craven are back. They're tied for second. Bones and Dimes, tied for second. Busy, Shaman, Cat, and 999, tied for third. And Kel Villar, Justice, and Doc, tied for fourth. All right, let's spin that wheel and see who's going to get a free shot. Bones. Bones, who you want to shoot? Father Ron, shot again. Ron, res and restore. Now, Craven, you will be dragging Ron. Ron, you can trip. Everybody else, you know what to do. Jim and Julia, you cannot move, but you can trip. So once the music stops, do not type stop.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
All right. Craven, looks like they have an agenda. Craven Light is tripped. That means he and Ron are both on the ground again. One shot, one tripped. All right, now let's see who got to move. Look at this. Bones and Dimes moving forward, tied with Jim and Julia, who are now both standing up. We got Doc and Justice also moving forward. Nice move. Get you in the game. And Villar and Kel also moving forward. All right. We've got Jim and Justice tied with Bones and Dimes for first. Ron and Craven are not moving this round. Bones has to drag Dimes. All the rest of you will be tripping someone. Everybody, get ready and go.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
got to spin the wheel. Back up. This round doesn't count. That was kind of a practice round for everybody. All right, we're going to spin the wheel. Now, you can see where everybody is. So there's a little strategy is going to come in play depending on who gets this wheel spin. And again, that round did not count, so whoever you trip, doesn't matter. All irrelevant. Bones. Ouch. Back to back for Bones. Got to shoot Jim. All right. Jim, res and restore. Now, Julia, you have to drag Jim. So the people that can trip are Jim, Craven, Ron, Dimes. The people that are dragging are going to be Julia and Bones. And Ron and Craven. No need to hit stop whenever we stop because you're not moving. All right, here we go. Next round.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
All right. Let's see who got tripped. Looks like Julia got tripped up. Just a few more than Bones. All right, let's see if they get across the finish line now. We've got Justice and Dr. Dye heating up. We got Cat and 999 heating up. And Bones and Dimes right at the red line. Not quite across, but one away from getting in the safety zone. All right, we got Ron and Craven are back. So we got Bones and Dimes in first. Julia and Jim in second. Ron, Craven, Cat, 999, Doc, and Justice in third. And then the other four slightly behind. Let's spin the wheel. All right, this time it's Julia. It was almost Bones for a third time. Julia, who do you want to shoot? Gonna be Bones. All right, that makes it interesting because now we got Bones and Dimes can't move. Jim and Julia can't move. They can trip. They can't drag anybody. Everybody else, you got to take a look and see who else is worth tripping since the top 4 players can't be tripped. And they can't move. Here we go.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
All right, we got $9.99 is tripped. But not before Cat moves into a tie for second with Jim and Julia. Ron and Craven moving into a tie with Jim, Julia, Cat, and 999. And it looks like Villar and Kel are moving one space up as well. All right. Bones and Dimes have a chance to finish it off here. Julia, Jim, Ron, Craven, Cat, and 999 are 2 spaces behind. Kel, Villar, Dr. Digestus, 3 behind, and Busy and Shaman are behind. Cat must drag 999. Everybody else, you will figure out a player to trip.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
All right, we're going to spin the wheel one more time. Because, you know, we like to keep you guys honest. That was a little teaser. That was a little teaser to see who you guys were going to pick. Gemstone. Who you want to fire at, Jim? Gonna shoot Bones again. All right. Might have been a better move to shoot Cat because Dimes can drag Bones and they're only one spot away. And if we'll see how it works out. All right. Everybody. Dimes has to drag Bones. Cat has to drag 999. Everybody else is going to trip until we stop.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 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 무궁화
All right. Numbers are in. All right, looks like overwhelmingly Cat got tripped, but she can still move this round, so we'll see how that plays out. Dimes and Bones. First across the finish line. Congratulations. No strikes for you. Julia and Jim at the edge of the finish line. One away. And Ron and Craven, one away from the finish line. All right. Now remember the top three in the game. So we got Julia, Jim, Ron, and Craven all super close. Could come down to who hit stop the fastest. Cat cannot move, but she can trip. And let's spin the wheel and see who's going to get a shot. Jim Stone again. Jim, who you want to shoot at? Craven Light, Resin Restore Craven. All right, Ron, you must drag Craven. Craven can trip. Cat can trip. Everybody else, you're trying to get closer up or move up before the other four.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 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 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
All right. Jim was tripped up close to the finish line. Let's see. We've got Craven and Ron crossing the finish line to finish in second. And Jim and Julia dragging across the finish line to finish third. All right. Everybody else, you have received 1 strike. Cat, 1 strike. Busy, 1st strike. Shaman, 1st strike. Kel, 3rd strike. Valar, 7th strike. Dr. Die, 3rd. And Justice, 7th. Everybody else, congratulations. No strikes for Dimes, Bones, Ron, Craven, or Jim. Whew. All right, you know what? I think we need to relax. What do y'all think? Let's head over to the playground. All right, you guys ready to get out of here before they start firing? All right, let's go. You guys got balloons. And there were some gifts earlier. Y'all remember gifting items? Couldn't tell people what you gifted, where you gifted it. Well, we got some presents to give away to everybody. And we're going to play a little game called White Elephant.
Shadows are holding their breath, scavengers hoping I'm dead. What are those vines there? What are those flies there? How did they find me? Birds in the vines.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Kilz game. Now, I got to tell you, everybody in the game now has strikes except for Craven and Father Ron. They're the only 2 people at 0 right now. So, in order that you registered, in order that you signed up, there is a present in front of you. I will tell you, some of these presents have a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. And we're going to go down the list. We're going to start with box number 1. And that would be Julia. So, Julia, the way White Elephant works is you can exchange your position for any other position on the map. But once you exchange with that person, they cannot exchange back with you. Somebody else can, but they cannot. So if you exchange with Ron can't, on his turn, flip-flop back with you. He's got to pick somebody different. Everybody understand? Now, there was a lot of data that came out today that you should know, or you should have an inclination about what some of these boxes potentially could do, because you know what you did. You don't know what other people did. All right, so Julia, we're going to start with you. I'm going to let you exchange with any other person. You are gift number 1. You can either stay there or exchange with someone else. And when I say there's a lot of hurt in some of these, I mean a lot of hurt. Julia says she wants box number 7. That means Julia's going over here. Kel is going over there. So Kel cannot change with Julia, but she can change with anybody else. Bones, who would you like to trade with? Or would you like to stay the same? If you feel good about where you're at, let it happen. Bones says she's going to stay. She likes box number 2. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody else is going to let her stay. Dr. Dimes, where would you like to go? Dr. Dine says, I'm going to stay. How about Kat? Kat's going to flip-flop number 1 with Kel. All right, Deadly Dimes. Where would you like to go? Dime's going to stay. Shaman. Shaman's going to stay. Kel, who would you like to trade with? Valar. Valar, you're now in number 4. Who would you like to trade with? Valar's going to stay. Ron. You're in number 9. Justice. Busy bee. Gemstone. And Craven Light. You get any pick you want. Or you could stay. Up to you. Number 1. All right. Now, I know it seems like a little sleight of hand because, people had certain boxes and things that you contributed and gave to people and so on and so forth. So as I said, you should have had some clue or some inclination. Every gift is occupied. Most people stayed, so there's really no need in getting in a bidding war because everybody had a chance to move. So let's get down to it. If your chest has a grenade in it, you will die for each grenade that's in that chest. If your chest has a strike in it, you will get a strike for each one that is in that gift. Let's start with chest number 1. Craven Light. Spade Grenade. That was originally given to Julia. Craven, Resin Restore, but there are no strikes. Just a death, but no strikes. That's probably as good as you could hope for. Now, Bones, you didn't move, so that means whatever is in this chest was given to you by the other players. So let's see what the other players decided to give you. Just an X. All right. No grenades, but an X. That's your second one. Now, I don't know if you thought you were giving grenades to help people or hurt people today. So, again, you can't put too much weight in it because when the grenades were gifted, you might have thought that you were helping out somebody. But the strike was definitely targeted. That means somebody saw Amy's name up there and said, I want to give her a strike. All right. Let's go to chest number 3. Dr. Dye. Oh, boy. Dr. Dye, Resin Restore twice, but you know what? No strike. And again, that could have been people thinking that they were going to help you out, but blew you up. But no strike. All right, Villar. This was initially Cat's location. So Villar and Cat's location. Oh, somebody would have given Cat a strike, but they gave it to Villar. Villar, strike number 8. Deadly Dimes. How you feeling about your gift now? Knowing that this was where you started, and this is what people would have given directly to you. How you feeling right now? Feeling good? Scared? Okay, well, let's see. Let's see what they gave you. Ouch! Oh, my goodness. 3 strikes for Deadly Dimes. Oh, she was on the hit list this morning. Wow. And she stayed there. Oh, my goodness. Deadly Dimes going from 1 up to 4. That hurt a little bit. All right, let's go. Number 6. Shaman, how you feeling? Because Shaman didn't move either. Let's see, Shaman. 1 strike for the Shaman. All right, Julia. Julia moved into Kel's spot. Now, Julia, how you feeling about being in Kel's spot? Did Julia make a good strategic move of moving out of her spot and into somebody else's? So she says, I think I'm going to be pretty okay. Wow. Not a single person targeted Kel. Julia was on to something. Smart move. Smart move. Now, Ron, you moved into Villar space, the defending champion. How you feeling about Villar space? Ron says, I'm regretting it. Ron with a strike and a dud that will blow up and kill him. But Ron with his first strike of the season. Now, Kel, you are in Ron's space. Ron says, be scared, Kel. So, Kel, how you feeling about being in Ron's spot? Knowing that some people might have given Ron some gifts. Everybody loves Ron. I mean, how bad could it be? Oh, my goodness gracious. 3 strikes. And 2 grenades. Kel. 3 strikes and 2 resin restores. Justice, how you feeling being in your own spot? Feeling good? You think, Justice says, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's see. Justice, resin restored, just 1 grenade, not bad. But he didn't get any strikes. Busy, how you feeling? You didn't move. And, you know, Busy was #1 in the squid competition last year for about half of it. I think people forget how good Busy was. But Busy, what do you think? You think people remember that? Think people are coming at you? Let's see. Nothing. Nothing. Oh my goodness. Nobody targeted Busy Bee. Now, Kat, you are in gem space. I wonder how Kat is feeling. Did Jim get targeted? Let's find out. Just a grenade. Oh, 2 grenades. Cat, resin restore twice, but no strikes. Yeah, Jim, you were in Craven's spot. Jim's like, I'm screwed. Craven Light was in number 13. Let's see how bad it was for Craven Light. Oh my goodness. Gemstone. 2 strikes and 2 resin restores. That'll take Jim up to 3. All right. You know what? We had a action-packed day. Had another event that we could have ran through tonight. I'm not going to start it tonight because I don't think we can improve upon what we did tonight. Tonight has been a lot of fun. All throughout the day, you got clues, you got tricked, you got was it good, was it bad? Our current leaders are Craven Light with 0. Cat with only 1. Father Ron with only 1. Busy with only 1. Julia, Bones, Shaman with 2. Doc and Jim with 3. and a few others. We got a little work to do, but the good news for each of you is it's a long event, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So you know what? Let's go back to the dorm, relax, think about what happened today, some of the trickery, some of the things that are going to be set up. And if somebody got the best of you tonight, revenge is the best medicine.
Where the light and darkness meet, on the edge of the horizon through the trees. I am a narcissist, crippled with self-doubt. I've got a courage that brings me to my knees. I am equal parts sacred and profane. I live my life that way. So I can slip out the back door and be alone. I fight with angels till I'm too beat up to walk, and then I hold on tight and when I let them go. I am equal parts sacred and profane. I live my life that way. I live my life that way. Parts of Abel and of Cain. I live my life that way. I live my life that way. I am a generous swindler, an honest man who lies is my human nature. That's a hell of an alibi. You got killed. I read a story once about a whitewash tomb, and I've been thinking about that story ever since you left the room. Generous swindler, an honest man who lies. I've got a fear of failure that keeps me up at night. I read a story once about an empty tomb, but I've been trying to pay this